In the headlines, Northeast governors decry rising kidnapping and banditry. National Industrial Court to hear government's application on ASUU strike as President Buhari meets pro-chancellors. Sokoto State government constructs drainage to avert flood as federal government warns states to brace up for more torrential rain. And on the foreign scene, Syria says Israel attacks Damascus airport, kill 5 soldiers. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Darshan Husseina Usman. And now the news in detail. The Northeast Governors Forum has lamented the rampant and widespread issue of banditry and kidnapping in the country. Chairman of the forum and Governor of Borno State, Babagana Umar Zulum, stated this on Friday in Gombe, while declaring open the 7th edition of the forum's meeting held in the state. The forum, comprising the 6 governors of Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, Gombe, Taraba, and Yobe, met in Gombe State to deliberate on the issues affecting the sub-region and the country. Governor Zulum said both the federal and state governments should take a more critical look at the issues of kidnapping, which is becoming too rampant in the country.
Matters of common interest and shared responsibilities, there is compelling need for us to take a more critical look at the emerging issue of kidnapping, which has become a crime of choice for criminals and is becoming rampant and widespread. It is, therefore, a matter of strategic necessity to essentialize the issue of kidnapping and come up with implementable measures to deal with this element of criminality before it is too late. It is in this respect, we will obviously be guided by our respective attorney generals who will initiate the appropriate legal framework to deal with the problem.
And in education, the National Industrial Court has adjourned the suit filed by federal government challenging the ongoing strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities to 19th September for a hearing of the interlocutory application of the federal government. Noel Sampson, who was at the court for Trust TV, reports that the federal government counsel asked the court to give the suit an accelerated hearing due to the urgency of the matter. The report.
Counsel to ASUU, Femi Falana, has said he has been served with federal government interlocutory application. The counsel further added that ASUU is currently meeting with stakeholders to ensure the lingering crisis is resolved. He therefore appealed to the federal government to cooperate with them to resolve the issue amicably for the sake of the students who are at the receiving end.
The purpose of the case is to frustrate negotiations. And there is no way you are going to resolve this problem without going back to the drawing table. You must negotiate. And that has been our experience. With all the strikes by us and other unions, the government must be ready to negotiate. The government set up the Jibril Committee to renegotiate the 2009 agreement. The committee concluded its assignment. The government threw it away. The government set up another committee, BRICS Renegotiation Committee, brought out profound recommendations. ASUU accepted the recommendation. The government said no. Those are 2 committees set up by the government in respect of this strike. So our appeal should go to the government to learn to respect our agreements so that these strikes will not be necessary in the interest of the nation and in the interest of our children. And the fact, notwithstanding the fact that government must be prepared to end this strike.
However, the lead counsel of the federal government highlighted the stand of the federal government.
The Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment made a referral to this court. On the 12th of September, the Honorable Court directed parties to file their relevant processes and directed that we should file our process between Monday and Tuesday. We filed all our processes on Monday, including the position of the federal government, and we also filed an interlocutory application seeking to restrain ASUU from continuing with that strike pending the hearing and determination of the substantive suits.
We are here to observe the sitting and to make our stand. That our stand is very simple and clear. we want to return back to class. That is our stand. And we are calling on the federal government and asking to shift ground so that at least we go back to class. This is almost 8 months to 9. We are tired. Always we are at the receiving end. The only thing we are appealing and begging is that the FG and ASU should shift ground, all of them, so that we go back to class.
The ASU strike has entered its 7th month now. It is however hoped that a resolution will be reached soonest for the benefit of the students and the nation at large. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has pledged to hold further consultations with relevant stakeholders towards ending the protracted strike by university lecturers under the aegis of Academic Staff Union of Universities. The president made the pledge Friday at the State House Abuja when he met with the chairman and select members of pro-chancellors of federal universities. The pro-chancellors were led to the meeting by Professor Nimi Briggs, who said they had come to meet with the president as commander-in-chief and the visitor to the federal universities. He added that the future of the university system in the country is good, citing an example of recent listing of the University of Ibadan among the first 1,000 universities in the world, a development occurring for the first time. Professor Briggs commended the federal government for concessions already made to the striking lecturers. The pro-chancellors also asked for reconsideration of the no work, no pay stance of government, promising that lecturers would make up for the time lost as soon as an amicable situation is reached and schools reopen. Minister of State for Education, Goodluck Nana Opia, said all the concessions made by federal government were to ensure that the industrial action comes to an end, but ASU has remained adamant. The federal government, through the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency, has appealed to authorities in various states to brace for more floods. Director General of the agency, Clement Nze, who gave the alert in a statement on Friday in Abuja, asked the states to take necessary measures to prevent the ugly flooding menace of the past years. Nigeria, according to him, is now in the peak of flooding season, and there is a need for the government, especially at the state and local government levels, to intensify and set up efforts to avert related disasters in their domains. The NISA chief asked authorities in the 13 states that fall on the main course of the rivers Niger and Benue system to put in place adequate measures and enhance preparedness to mitigate any eventual flooding and accompanying disasters. The affected states include Kebbi, Niger, Adamawa, Taraba, Benue, Nasarawa, Kogi, Edo, Delta, Anambra, Cross River, Rivers, and Bayelsa states. Moving on to more stories, the Sokoto state government says it has spent over 2 billion naira for a water storm project in Mabera area of the state. In an exclusive interview with Trust TV, correspondent Idris Jibrin, the State Commissioner for Environment said the project is to prevent flood and environmental degradation, which has been disturbing the area. The report.
Over the years, residents in Mabera area of Sokoto metropolis has been threatened by flood and environmental degradation, which the state government say is now a history.
18.59 kilometers storm water management project at the cost of 2.2 billion naira. It's a collaboration between state government and the World Bank in order to address the flood as well as erosion itself, because they come together. Once the flood is addressed, erosion menace will go to the bay.
In collaboration with the World Bank funded project NewMap, this 2.8 billion naira water storm project is expected to help prevent erosion, flood, and other environmental challenges around the area.
We were able to actually come to the rescue of a very difficult terrain in the area of Mabera. Terrain here, I'm referring to an area that suffers from perennial floods, urban floods here in Sokoto metropolis. Over 18.5 kilometers of drainage of various sizes was put in place to specifically address the flood issues in Mabera area and the adjoining areas. This is the major work we have implemented under this program.
Meanwhile, the state government says adequate provision has been made to ensure that the environment is kept clean and that residents ensure that indiscriminate refuse dump is avoided.
We try to bring up with some policies and laws that will allow other people to participate. In that respect, we are able to propose the establishment of Sokoto State Environmental Sanitation Policy number 7 of 2015. And that policy allows us to bring up private companies to refuse evacuation, and then also allow other stakeholders to contribute their own quota.
While the Mabera Water Storm Project is designed to address the menace of gully erosion and land degradation, other selected communities will also benefit from the project. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Sokoto.
A Vietnamese, Nguyen Huy, was on Friday convicted by Lagos Federal High Court for trafficking in 2 kilograms or 200 kilograms of pangolin scales. Nguyen was given the jail term by Justice Daniel Osiago after he pleaded guilty to a 2-count charge made against him by the Nigeria Customs Service. The convict was brought before the court on charges of acting in contravention of Nigeria Customs and Excise Management Act and unlawful possession of pangolin scales, a specimen specified in the first schedule of the Endangered Species Act. The convicted Vietnamese and others were sometimes brought before the court after they were arrested by Nigeria Customs Service and Wildlife Justice Commission, a joint wildlife enforcement operations targeting illegal wildlife traffickers of pangolin scales from Africa to Asia. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. Just residents decry vandalization of community bridge. Do stay with us.
That's great.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining us, you're watching Trust News Update. Here's a recap of some of our top stories. We told you that Northeast governors decry rising kidnapping, banditry. We also heard that National Industrial Court to hear government's application on ASU strike as President Buhari meets pro-chancellors. Moving to more news, almost 90 million people have registered for the National Identification Number, the National Identification Management Commission has said. NIMSI Director General and Chief Executive Officer Aliyu Aziz disclosed this on Friday in Abuja at the event to commemorate the 4th National Identity Day with the theme Traditional Institution as Critical Stakeholders for Citizens Mobilization. With the development, Aziz explained that Nigerians in the diaspora would have the opportunity to enroll and have their national identity even while outside the shores of the country. According to him, the more the government knows the accurate number of the population and the right demographics, the better it is placed to plan well for infrastructure, social welfare, and economic development. The Nimsi chief believes this underscores the importance of identity and directly links to the importance of commemoration of the Nigerian National Identity Day. An abattoir is a place where animals are slaughtered, after which the meat is subsequently transported to the markets for consumers to buy. Based on international best practices, an abattoir is expected to be equipped with slaughter hall, gut and tripe room, detained meat room, offal room, condemned meat room, hide and skin room. Ado Musa examines the level of hygiene at Jos main abattoir and the kinds of animals that are slaughtered. Take a look.
Jos main abattoir, located in Green community of Jos North local government area of the state, came into existence in 1975, but started functioning in 1978 with different kinds of animals, including cattle, sheep, goat, pig, and camel being slaughtered on daily basis. According to the project manager of the abattoir, Dr. Nembu John, hundreds of people are benefiting from the slaughterhouse every day, ranging from butchers, meat sellers, hawkers, tricycle drivers, among others.
We have our inspection officers, the staff of the ministry here, that every morning they do inspection just before slaughtering. By 6, sometimes 5:30 they are here. They will inspect the animals before slaughtering, and after slaughtering they will inspect. Any animal that is not fit or any organ that is not fit, we condemn either partially or totally.
First of all, we carry out antemortem inspection. That is the inspection we carry before we slaughter the animals. And after slaughtering the animal, we carry out the postmortem inspection.
The chairman of butchers of Jos North local government area of the state, Usman Aliyu, who oversees slaughtering of animals at Gabadoho Abattoir, said they did not venture into the business overnight, explaining that they were trained on how to ensure healthy animals are killed for consumption. Before we came into the business, the Plateau State government took us to Bauchi for some practical courses on the business. That is why we are very careful when it comes to slaughtering animals for consumption. It is a trust given to us, and we can't compromise it. We must put eyes on the kinds of animal to be killed and the sanitation of the area we kill the animals. The project manager of Jos main abattoir, however, expressed concern over the challenges.
There is no security. We don't have a security post. It's just one security officer that we have here that takes care of animals for the butchers. He is their own security personnel. And then we have the issue of young boys coming around, smoking, fighting each other around this area, and then vandalization of government properties.
Some sellers and customers share their experiences.
We usually sell to retailers and take it to various communities and sell to final consumers.
Every morning we come here to buy meat from Ogayas, and it's a healthier meat because even if the meat is not healthy, if they bring it here, we have doctors, and we don't used to bring anyhow meat, which is the healthier ones and the good ones.
Experts often emphasize that eating unhealthy meat and poor sanitation of abattoirs can cause infectious diseases such as heart and liver diseases, pneumonia, tumors, among others. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Residents of Bulbula community of Jos North local government area of Plateau State are decrying vandalizing of a bridge that links their community with other communities in Jos metropolis. The residents say they have reported the issue to Jos North local government chairman on the need to take stringent measures, but to no avail. Ado Musa reports.
The bridge, popularly known as Gadans Ogai, was constructed in 1975 and is linking various communities in the state capital. According to the residents, this is a bridge with intense traffic, and if it collapses, it can lead to catastrophe as thousands of people go through the bridge every day for their daily activities. They said vendors, especially youth, have been removing the iron rods in the pillars of the bridge, making it weak, which is dangerous to motorists and people plying the road. Umar Yakubu, the ward head of Bulbula community, while lamenting on the condition of the bridge, blamed the Jos North Local Government Authority for its lackadaisical attitude toward the repairs of the bridge.
Wannan gada tun daga ranar da aka yi discovering cewar yara sun fara gutsurar wannan rodi da yake.
The very day we discovered that some unscrupulous youth have started removing the iron rod used in the construction of the pillars of the road, we took action at our level as community. We set up a group of people to be passing night at the side of the bridge to prevent the vandals from removing the road, because the vandals come in the night. But despite such effort, they beat our intelligence to remove the roads during raining, when all of us have returned home. We reported the incident to the chairman of Jos North, Shehu Bala, but nothing has been done about it.
Saboda sadaukar da marais da suke wallahi sai ana ruwa za su shiga dan suna san raba za a ji ba.
Ke faruwa a gadar Sogai, gada ce wanda ta yi linkin Nasarawa.
This is the bridge that links communities of Majima, Zololo, Bulbula, Nasarawa and Layin Sarki. Students pass across the bridge to their various schools. We pass through the bridge while going for our businesses or hospitals, but the bridge is now in a sorry condition. If the bridge collapses, it is a big problem to us. We have realized that the bridge is shaking. We call on the government to do the needful before it is too late. Effort to contact the chairman, Jos North Local Government Area, Shehu Bala, on the development proved abortive. However, the community said if nothing is being done to salvage the bridge from possible collapse, various communities will suffer. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Senate President Ahmed Lawan has said President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to present the proposed 19.76 trillion naira 2023 appropriation bill to the National Assembly in the first week of October. Lawan made this disclosure while inspecting the makeshift Senate chamber, which will serve as the temporary chamber due to the ongoing renovation of the Senate's main chamber. Upon resumption on September 20, the Senate is expected to confirm the nomination of Acting Chief Justice of the Federation, Justice Olukayode Ariwola. Acting CJN was appointed on June 27 this year, and he has 3 months to get Senate confirmation, failure of which will require fresh nomination. The renovation of the National Assembly complex, with completion target of August next year, is for the use of the incoming 10th Assembly.
This is going to be our temporary chamber for some time, some months, and I'm aware that it will be here that we conduct the business of the Senate up to next year, by the grace of God. That is not an issue. The way this place is renovated to accommodate distinguished senators is what matters to us. But you also know that we are going to resume, Mr. President, for the presentation of the 2023 appropriation or budget estimates. And we expect that the President will be doing that in the first week of October. Even though it may not be taking place here, imagine that the House of Reps chamber will be the appropriate place like we have always done. But that is going to be one of the issues that we have to tackle immediately we resume. We have the nomination or confirmation of the Chief Justice of Nigeria waiting already. Recall that the President sent the request, but that was a day before the Senate went on its annual summer recess. And therefore, this is going to be one of the first things we need to do to ensure that the acting capacity does not go beyond the required 3 months.
In business, the equity market on Friday closed on a bearish note as the all-share index depreciated by 0.13% to settle at 49,475.42. The market capitalization declined by 0.13% to close at 26.686 trillion naira, shedding 35 billion naira. The market breadth closed negative as 9 equities appreciated in their share prices against 14 equities that declined in their share prices. An aggregate of 107.5 million units of shares were traded in 3,303 deals valued at 1.150 billion naira. On the foreign scene, Israel has carried out an air attack on Syria's Damascus International Airport and other positions south of the capital, killing 5 soldiers and causing material damage, the Ministry of Defense said. Syrian air defenses intercepted the raid and managed to down most of the missiles, the ministry said in a statement early on Saturday. There was no immediate confirmation whether the attack has affected flight operations at Damascus Airport. The Defense Ministry said on its website that the attack was launched just after midnight local time, with a missile fired from the air from the northeastern direction of Lake Tiberias, targeting the airport and other targets south of the city. Sources told Reuters that Israel has intensified strikes on Syria's airports on the grounds that it wants to disrupt Tehran's increasing use of aerial supply routes to deliver arms to allies in Syria and Lebanon, including Hezbollah, regional diplomatic and intelligence. And finally, in sports, Premier League players and fans have the chance to honor Queen Elizabeth II this weekend, but the upcoming state funeral for Britain's longest-serving monarch on Monday has seen 3 matches postponed. Demands on police to handle the huge crowds descending on London to pay their visits or respect as the Queen lies in state have seen Liverpool's trip to Chelsea and Manchester United's clash against Leeds called off. Brighton's meeting with Crystal Palace had previously been postponed due to a rail strike affecting supporters and will not go ahead despite the industrial action being called off. The football authorities were met with criticism from fans groups after matches at all levels were called off at short notice last Friday in the wake of the Queen's death. Cricket, rugby, golf and horse racing were among the many other sports to go ahead that weekend with tributes paid and rousing versions of God Save the King. And with this, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Connect with us on all our social media platforms. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.